Oh, it's Crash here. Yeah, was, the intent was to get this done yesterday, but there we are. It's yeah. Um, Plan is to discuss sort of. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think conundrum is the right term. Yeah, has run into something of a question on how to. There's a decision making point, I guess, and it's sort of an interesting look at how yeah so yeah I mean yeah got a ongoing D&D campaign we're part of where last session one of the player characters um, ended the session in need of resurrection, and with the party unable to do that resurrection directly, which has raised some interesting questions, I suppose, because like the intent was always just because so this game starts at like 5 in the morning for us, so we built a character deliberately that would be very easy to pilot, right? Pure champion fighter build, right? There's very little thought required, you know, deliberately because it's 5 games session, right? Um, and that was the intent as players was to just have a nice, easy, simple character to like not too complex backstory, right? Not too much to worry about there, right? Like yeah, there's a level of characterization there, but it's mostly just like there as just a way to play D&D without having to think too much, which was the intent, right? Like, and then what's happened has been that um the character has grown for themselves. Not sure yet whether it's the point where, um, like in the past, certainly we've had it where making a character has been like for a TTRPG has been part of the formation, not formation, but like the discovery process for headmates. So that might be what's occurring. I'm not 100% certain yet, of course, but well, yeah, we're not 100% certain yet. But it's been it's an interesting thing to discuss, right? Because what happened is that like yeah, okay, cool. Backstory of just like yeah, cool. Used to be a soldier and then quit because there's only so much death you can see, right? And then now losing someone in the party, especially after it's been like a while together and like reluctance to get close doesn't work with months together. Like, there's only so much of that you can do in a small group where you're off doing shit together for that long, right? So, that's somewhat. That was an unfortunate. And so now it's like, okay, so Pure Marshals isn't going to cut this. So, like, that's the emotional space the character is in, right? That's where Orbitha is at this point, right? It's like, okay, cool, Pure Marshals isn't cutting this. So I need to do something more. Um, and so it's looking at this point like probably the answer is almost certainly going to be a multi-class level. So it's the question of paladin or warlock, right? It's that reaching out to something else, right? It's that desperate fuck, I need more, right? I'm going to do a thing to get more. to have more power available, to have more answers, more options. And so it's, the question is it, yeah, obviously it's, well, yeah, one of the decision points is Paladin and Warlock, really. And then with Warlock, there's always the question over what type of a being that pact is made with. And so that's kind of what the thing is. It's like, yeah, obviously, like, the decision has to be, is a surprisingly complicated one, because, like, on the one hand, it would kind of make sense to, like, there's arguments for lots of different ways, right? Like, the classic Warlock, obviously, right, makes a lot of sense. It's a thing that, like, if you're just reaching out for power, right, obviously, you know, deal with the devil, effectively, right? Or, with some greater thing from beyond, is kind of the idea that you get in your head, and so it makes a lot of sense narratively in that sense, right? The issue with the thing from beyond, especially, is, right, that a lot of that past loss was at some horrific monstrosity from beyond, so that path might be blocked off in that sense narratively. Like, on the other hand, of course, right, that's like a knowledge of that power and potentially some idea of, like, you know, some knowledge of what that can do and knowledge that it's reachable, right? It's a thing you can contact. So that could go either way. But then on the other hand, it's like, okay, yes, that's true, but also, like, clearly what was needed was, like, the thing that was most needed in that fight was healing. Some amount of healing would have done so much, and which would mean lean towards Celestial Warlock, if possible, right? And there's always Fae to consider as well, of course, so that's always a question. And of course, right, Paladin is also another option for this, especially if you go if you accept that Celestial's a reasonable route, right? Paladin, that idea of taking some sort of an oath, like a promise to oneself and to the world and to some greater being that, like, with that additional power, there will not be another, this, you know, this will be avenged, right? This will not happen again, this will be avenged. Yeah, so, you know, there's definite arguments for Paladin of Vengeance, right? You know, that this death will be avenged. Yeah, because, like, the other thing we were looking at, right, was, okay, can we quickly get ritual casting? And the answer is sort of, not really. You kind of need 2 levels. Well, we're 2 levels away from getting a feat. So 2 levels away from a feat. And the feats that get you rituals then need more stuff invested besides, and there aren't any rituals that do what we need. For, I mean, I don't know why, right? For whatever reason, there is not a single ritual that lets you move between planes or resurrect people, and it's like, those are the 2 things that we really wanted as a ritual spell. But neither of those exist as rituals, so that's not an option. There's always, yeah, so none of this is going to fix the immediate problem, but, you know, there are questions to be had on what the plan is. Yeah, I don't know, it's been an interesting question to ponder, because, like, really, until now, it had never been a question. It was just, yeah, no, we're just going to keep taking vital levels. because that's what requires the least thought. It's like, yeah, no, I just walk forward and I stab people, right? That's the simple solution to a lot of problems, and fighters are very good at that. So it was very easy and useful for 5 a.m. brain. And so, yeah, I guess it's been interesting recognizing that actually you can lose. That, like, yeah, we've always known on a theoretical level that sometimes your D&D characters or whatever get beyond you, and that's a thing that happens. And yeah, it's kind of fascinating, not just recognizing that, but seeing that happen and the complexities of, right, this could be an entirely new headmate forming. This could be an old headmate sort of asserting themselves through the character so that they can start fronting and stuff again and like get recognized. Or this could just be the character having gained enough depth through the sessions to just be a character and therefore have motivations that we can recognize because we're, like, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know, it's been interesting, I guess, in trying to figure this out and decide on this, and yeah, I don't know. I guess if you've got opinions on which way to go, yeah, let us know, right? Or some way to quickly bypass how do we get in a single level when we're more than like when we need 2 levels for free. Is there a way to get like a fighter to be able to get people back in a single level? I don't think there is. But if you've got an answer for that, then great. Let's go. We don't know of any. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. I've not got anything else. Hopefully that was interesting. I don't know.
This system signing out. Hope to catch you all next week. Please do remember to like, subscribe, comment, especially if you've got any questions you want answered. Be happy to answer them either in the comments or in another video. So catch you all next week.